Our spiritual master, the only by which to attain pure devotional service, and whose lotus feet with great awe and reverence, His grace when cross the ocean of material suffering, obtain the mercy of Krishna. Should have my consciousness purified, emanating from His lotus mouth. Attachment to His lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with tranquility. He is my Lord, perfect, whose sacred emanates. From Him, ignorance is destroyed. Its scriptures sing of His character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy for the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. Master, be merciful unto us. It's the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the 3 worlds. We take shelter of your lotus feet. Jai! Hare Krishna, devotees.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Good to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Behind.
We are extremely blessed today to have His Holiness Maha Vishnu Maharaj and his Hari Nam party come through Philadelphia. And Maharaj led a very ecstatic Mangalartik today, and just had another ecstatic kirtan. And hopefully later on today, the weather will hold up and they'll be able to go out and bring the holy name to a lot of souls out there. So this morning, I'm going to be speaking to us on Srimad Bhagavatam. So we have a group here at the temple. And then I told Maharaj we have a nice group as well online, attentive audience.
Meet at 4 o'clock on the Walnut Street Park.
Yeah, I think we're trying to see about the weather. The weather it's supposed to storm at that time, so maybe it'll be earlier. By the end of the class, maybe we'll have a better idea. So we'll hand it over to Maharaj now. And do you want to put the verse up, Mother?
Yeah.
Mother
11
Okay. Great. So 18 has 18 is just a verse without a purport. 19 has the purport. So we'll do both.
Okay. Because we just came here for the
It's the other way around, Prabhu. 18 has the purport and 19 doesn't have a purport.
The joke was lost. We just came here for the Philadelphia cream cheese. We're wondering where it came from. All over the world, the Philadelphia cream cheese. But we hope it doesn't have vitamin D added fish oil in it. If anybody knows, we better, if it is, we better stop taking it. Okay. Yep. Jaya Radha Madhava Yashodanandana, Rajajanaranja. Divine grace, Avaishnav in the background from Srila Prabhupada ki. It's come founder, Pipiti founder, Srila Prabhupada ki. Jaya Vishnu Paramahansa Parivikacharya Sosati Sisman, Srila Bhakti, Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki. Namashasla Haridas Thakur ki jai. Premshika Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Gopaka ki. Shri Shivara Krishna Gopa Gopinath, Shama Kun Radha Kun, Giri Gopadana ki. Mathura Vrindavan Dhama ki, Deep Mahapadama ki, Akadas Parinama ki. ISKCON Philadelphia Dham ki, Jamuna Maya Gangamaya ki. What's the local river called here? Philly? Huh? Say it again. Worcester? Wissahickon. Wissahickon. Wissahickon Maya ki, Shrimati Tulsi Devi ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Sankirtan Yaga ki, Transcendental Book Distribution ki, Transcendental Prasadam Distribution ki, Transcendental Protection ki, Samvita Bhaktavinda ki, Hope Evanandi, all Christ Assembly devotees, all Christ Assembly devotees, all Christ Assembly devotees, all Christ Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Close to Srila Prabhupada. I got to see myself, the whole film is really distracting. I have to watch myself giving a class. Oh, terrible. Like a nightmare. Okay. So we're hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, the beautiful story of the personality of Godhead. And we're listening to Canto 1, chapter 10, 17. This canto is called, oh sorry, I'm wrong. Canto 1. Canto 1, chapter 10. There we go. Departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka, text 17. So I'll read the first verse quickly because there's no purport. Oh, there is a purport.
Maharaj, it is verse 18 and 19.
Okay, sorry. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So I can do a balancing act on this chair. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Uddhava Satyakis Chaiva Vyanjane Paramapute Vikaryamana Kushumai Rejimadapati Pati. Translation. Uddhava and Satyaki began to fan the Lord with decorated fans. And the Lord, as the master of Madhu, seated on scattered flowers, commanded them along the road. Text 19, where there's a purport. Ashriyanta Shisha Ashriyanta Shisha Tatyas Tatram
Tatra
Tatram Jaritaha
Dujairitaha
Namo Rupanurupascha
Nanurupanurupascha
Gunasya
Nirgunasya
Atmanaha
Gunatmanaha.
Astruyanta Shisha Sanyas
Suryant Asisa Satyas
Tatra Dvijaritaha
Tatra Tatra
Vijayritaha.
Dhyarita
Namo Rupanurupascha
Nanurupasya
Gunasya Gunatmana
Nirgunasya
Nirgunasya
Gunatmanaha.
Gunatmanaha
Ashruyanta Sisasanchas
Ashruyanta Asisa Satyas
Ashruyanta Satyas
Ashruyanta Asisa Satyas
Tatra Tatra Dijaritaha
Tatra Tatra Dijiritaha
Tatra Tatra Dijaritaha
Tatra Tatra Dijiritaha
Namaru Rupanarupascha
Nanurupasya
Nirgunasya Gunatmana
Nirgunasya
Gunatmanaha.
Anyone like to try?
Hare Krishna. Ashruyanta Shisha Satyas Tatra Tatra Vijayritaha Nana Rupanurupasya Nirgunasya Gunatmanaha.
You should wait till we reply. Yes, but for us.
Ashruyanta Shisha Satyas
Ashruyanta Asisa Satyas
Tatra Dvijayritaha
Tatra Tatra Yeritaha
Nanurupascha
Nanurupanarupaschya
Nirgunasya Gunatmanaha
Nirgunasya Atmanaha.
Someone from the side?
Hare Krishna. Akshuyanta Shiha Satyastra Tatra Diteritaha Nanurupanurupaksha Nirgunasya Gunatmanaha. Hare Krishna.
Usually when we're just doing it on Zoom, people chant it straight through because the feedback back and forth.
Ashruyanta Sisha Satyas
Anyway, it's a different.
Tatra
I did a whole. I made a Zoom.
Ashruyanta Sisha
Wake up.
Satyas
Bad dream, wake up.
Ashruyanta Asisa Satyas
Tatra Tatra Vijayritaha
Tatra Tatra Dijirataha
Tatra Tatra Dvijaritaha
Nanurup Who is doing that? Nanurupanurupascha
Nanurupana Urupascha
Nirgunasya Gunatmana
Nirgunasya Gunatmanaha
Ashruyanta
Hare Krishna. Ashruyanta Sishaha
being heard.
Tatra Tatra Dijerita.
We're going for word now, synonyms, okay? Okay, we start again. Ashruyanta,
Ashruyanta,
being heard.
being heard.
Ashishaha,
Ashisha,
benediction.
benediction.
You can say, as devotees out there, you can say, we'll wait for you. More personal. Ashishaha,
Ashisha,
Asisaha
benediction.
Benediction
Benediction
Shachaha,
Satya
Satyaha
all truths.
all
all
truth
truths
Tatra,
Tatra
here.
Here
Tatra,
Tatra
there.
There
Vija, iritaha,
Vijayritaha
sounded.
Sounded by learned brahmanas.
Sorry, sounded by learned brahmanas.
Sounded by learned brahmanas.
No,
Oh,
not
Anurupa,
Anurupa,
befitting.
befitting.
Anurupaha,
Anurupa,
fitting.
Fitting.
Cha,
yeah.
also.
Also,
Negunasya,
Nirgunasya
of the absolute.
of the absolute.
Guna Atmanaha,
Guna Atmanaha,
playing the role of a human being.
playing the role of a human being.
Okay, translation and purport by His Confounded Jai, His Divine Grace, Abhayashanara and the Bhaktivinoda Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
Here and there were heard the benedictions being paid to Krishna, which were neither befitting nor unbefitting, because they were all for the Absolute, who was now playing the part of a human being. Can I repeat here? Here and there were heard the benedictions being paid to Krishna,
being paid to Krishna,
which were neither befitting
were neither befitting
nor unbefitting,
nor unbefitting,
because
Because
they were all for the Absolute,
they were all for the absolute,
who was now playing
who
who
was
was
not
playing
playing
the part of a human being.
the part of human being.
Therefore, at places there were sounds of Vedic benediction aiming at the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. The benedictions were fitting in the sense that the Lord was playing the part of a human being, as if a cousin of Maharaj Yudhisthira. But they were also unfitting, because the Lord is absolute and has nothing to do with any kind of material relativities. Here is nirguna, or there are no material qualities in him, but he is full of transcendental qualities. In the transcendental world, there is nothing contradictory, whereas in the relative world, everything has its opposite. In the relative world, white is the opposite conception of black. But in the transcendental world, there is no distinction between white and black. Therefore, the sounds of benedictions uttered by the learned Brahmins here and there appear to be contradictory in relation with the absolute person. But when they are applied to the absolute person, they lose all contradiction and become transcendental. One example may clear this idea. Lord Shri Krishna is sometimes described as a thief. He is very famous amongst his pure devotees as the Makanchor. He used to steal butter from the houses of neighbors at Vrindavan in his early age. Since then, he is famous as a thief. But in spite of his being famous as a thief, he is worshipped as a thief. Whereas in the mundane world, a thief is punished and is never praised. Since he is the absolute personality of Godhead, everything is applicable to him, and still, in spite of all contradictions, he is the supreme personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ki. Asuriyanta Shisha Satyas Tatra Tatra Dvijanitaha Namarupantu Pascham Niganasya Kanatmana. Here and there were heard the benedictions being paid to Krishna, which were neither befitting nor unbefitting, because they were all for the Absolute, who is now playing the part of a human being. Srila Prabhupada ki. Oma Gyana Timarandasya Gyananjana Salakayam Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Savitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Pradati Sva Padantikam. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Makam karoti vachalam, pangam langayate girim, yat kripa taram bande, Shri Gurun Dinacharinam. Sometimes Prabhupada would say, 1 + 1 = 1, 1 - 1 = 1 in the spirit, in the absolute world. And Ishapanishad also says, Om Purnam Ada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udashate Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Evava Shishate. Personality of Godhead is perfect and complete. And because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this material world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. In another place, and all forms of incompleteness are experienced because of incomplete knowledge of the complete. So if the complete is complete, how can you take one from the complete? How can you add one to the complete? It's already complete. But because we don't understand this, we're deficient, incomplete knowledge of the complete. Then we think in the relative way. 1 - 1 is 0, 1 + 1 = 2. So this is our condition of incomplete knowledge of the complete. And of course, it all stems from the fact that we identify with this body. We think that from childhood, from babyhood, from pregnancy, when we're growing up from conception, we're growing, or the child is growing, to adult, Jehinosmin Yitadehe, Kumaram Yovanam Jara, Tatad.
Dehantara Prabhupada.
Because we're not Dira, we think we are this body, the Atma Buddhi. So we forget that we're the same person as a baby in the womb, a baby being born, a young child, a young toddler, a youth, an adult, and so on. We identify with the passing of time. We identify with the temporary body, which is changing. And this is a fact, actually, because the body of a child is different from the body of an adult. The child is talking all nonsense. And everyone says, oh, what a nice little boy. He's so nice, isn't he? He's talking all nonsense. But if an older person talks all nonsense, I think it's better call them. The consciousness, the body makes our consciousness because we identify with the body. Very difficult not to. You know, when you're getting old, you think you're old. When your body gets old, you think you're old. So then you think and you talk like an old man. But Krishna is described, the soul is described as Ajo Nitya Sasvato Yam Purano Anyate Anyamaneshwar. It's unborn, eternal, everlasting, primeval. The soul is not slain when the body is slain. So actually we don't belong in this dream. This is a bad dream. We're supposed to wake up in the human form of life. Unfortunately, we don't appreciate this human form of life. We think, well, maybe we're rational animals. We have we have reason, so we're building skyscrapers. We're building mobile phones. We're building laptops. We have reason. Right? We have motor cars. We were investigating yesterday how many motor cars in America. Just how many? 320 million people in America, and 2.1 motor cars, something like that. There's like 2/3 of human beings have motor cars. So this is our advancement. This is our identification with this body, because we think we must have a machine to move around. We think we must have a phone to communicate. But in the spiritual world, it's not like that. Even in the material world, in the highest planets, Satyaloka, Prabhupada explains in the Bhagavatam, they don't even need anything. They can travel to other planets without a spaceship, without a motor car, without a mobile phone. They're yogis, perfect yogis. The soul is not restricted actually to this body. We think we are. We think, one of my godbrothers declared that he now has cancer. And the doctors say that he has to leave his body in so many months. So we're always thinking, oh no, he's going to pass away. So my beloved Guru Maharaj. Of course, that's true. When Prabhupada was with us, our duty is to serve Prabhupada's body and to follow his order. Devotees, they work so hard. I was reading Giriraj's book. So devotees are actually transcendental when they're following the order of the spiritual master. It was just an amazing book. But then built a temporary temple in Juhu. And then there was a conspiracy to knock down the temple. By the, it's a long story. The devotees had to fight. This guy was climbing up the ladder with a big sledgehammer to start smashing the deity room. And Giriraj pushed over the ladder. And then the police dragged him off, fighting. And then one Mataji, she was the pujari. She locked the pujari door and she was fighting like anything. She's holding onto a beam and they had to drag her off by the hair. Dragging her off by the hair and her arms. But they're fighting for the deities were inside. But one devotee was hiding in the bushes. I think he was called Maitili. So he managed to escape and go to a phone and ring up Mahadev. Meanwhile, the destruction was going on. And Mahadev was an influential man. He rang up the chairman of the council. He told him what was going on. The chairman of the council, go there, my policeman. And then he said something, but listen, you want to keep your position or not? All right. And then he rang up the police and told them to stop. This is India. But the devotees are fully transcendental because they were imprisoned by them. They were all put in prison, all chanting the japa and the singing kirtan inside the prison. Simply following the order of the spiritual master. But actually the Vani is more important than the Vapu. The Papa said many times, I will come, my body will come, my body will go. But my orders are there. Chanting our 16 rounds, following the 4 regular principles, opening temples, distributing books, printing books, distributing prasad, going high now. This is all part of the Sankirtan movement. Golokera Premadana Harinam. Golokera Premadana Harinam. Anyway, the holy name descends from the spiritual world to destroy the illusion of Maya, of this relative world. So the only solution is that we hear about Krishna, the absolute truth, pastimes of Krishna, just like we're hearing now in this purport and in this verse. Krishna is departing for Dwarka. So it seems like he's an ordinary human being. He's departing for another place. But we don't understand that these pastimes are going on and on in different universes. Probably explain that. Sanatana Goswami explains that. Just like the sun is rising, the sun is now, what time is it now? Morning. But it's afternoon some other place. And it's rising some other place. So the sun is always there. Okay, so this is a material example. So Krishna is always there. Now it's, that's what time is it now? 8:38. So some other time, when it gets to 8:39, it'll be 8:38 somewhere else on this planet. So similarly, there's millions and trillions of universes. And Krishna's pastimes are going on consecutively. So it's going on eternally. So the Nishalila Pravishta. So it's beyond our comprehension. It's inconceivable. It's Achincha Shakti. And unless we accept that Krishna is Achincha Shakti, absolute, then we'll never understand God. We'll end up thinking, well, this universe, must have been a big bang. There must have been primordial soup or something, and we came by evolution from molecules. We'll be like babies, like little children, because we don't understand we're not this body, that we're spirit souls. It's only the TV screen of conditioned life is changing, but we're always the same. And because we identify with the TV screen or so on, then we think that we're changing. See? So this is like a bad dream. It's a dream. At night, we have so many dreams, just for a few minutes. But in the daytime, we have a longer dream, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, maybe maximum 100 years or so. And then we're thinking, this is reality. But it's not reality, because it's identification with this body. So, Lord Chaitanya has brought a message of the Absolute World. Srila Prabhupada brought the message of the Absolute World. And the process of the Absolute World. Enechi Oshodi Maya, Nashi Baralagi, Harinama Maha Mantra Lavatra Mimagi. This Maha Mantra is dissolving this identification with the body, identification with the nation, identification with the family, identification with Prabhupada, when he was in Vrindavan, he wrote a poem called Vrindavan Bhajan. And he's laughing, he's saying, it's all my family members. He gives me a laugh. Just a list of names. Just a list of names. So Prabhupada gives another example. Bhagavatam gives another example. Deha pacha kalachadishu atma sanyas vasatvapi tesham pramadanidanam pashanapina pasati. Deha pacha kalachadishu. All our identification, all our family members, this body, our children, our friends, our nation, they're all fallible soldiers. Fallible, so they cannot help us. And they do not, because we do not see our inevitable destruction. Pashanapina pasati. Whole world is on the relative platform, whole civilization. It's futile. People can't see it's futile. Building a big skyscraper, building a big civilization of motor cars, building a civilization of mobile. Futile. Why? Because you cannot overcome birth, old age, disease, and death with these contraptions. It's not going to help you. Only the devotees can use these machines and get progress. Because they're using for Krishna, for the absolute world. Actually, everything is absolute. It's just our forgetfulness which is not absolute. We're forgetting. We're thinking, I'm American, I'm Negro, I'm white, I'm yellow, I'm Chinese, I'm brown, I'm dog, I'm cat, I'm fish, I'm bird. 8,400,000 species of life. We just caught up in this samsara. Birth and death. People have no idea what's going on. They're fools. It's called Maya. Famous verse, Yasyanma Buddhi Gunapeti Datuke, Sadi Kalatadu Shibonga Ejadi, Atogriya Shatu Sutaptavita, Janashama Hoyamahama Meti. One who identifies with this bag of bile, mucus, and air. This is just a bag. The skin actually is very strong. It's like leather. There's a famous Australian song. What's that song? And that's him hanging on the wall. The Chandis hide when he was dead, and that's him hanging on his wall. This is a hide. It's the skin. Inside there's all kind of juices and blood and stool. So if you think we're this body, then, we're no better than a dog or a cat. And because of this body, we're thinking, well, this is my wife, my family, my country, my nation, you know. So, Mahoya Mahamameti, I think in terms of I and mine, like the dogs and cats. This is my street corner. This is my mouse. This is my Ukraine. This is my Russia, my America. This is not actually not civilization. This is animal life. Prabhupada said this nationalism is animalism. We think, Bomi, this piece of land is where I belong. We don't, because we're born with nothing and we'll end with nothing. We'll get kicked out. In the meantime, we think, I'm American, I'm British, I'm from Britain. I'm British. I was born in Birmingham, Acock's Green. I was born, you think I was born? I wasn't born. Bahuni may be a Tina, Bahuni may be a Titani, Janmani. But Krishna said, many, many births I have had. But I can remember them all. Many, many births we've had. We've had many families, many children, many nations, many species of life. But we're forgetting. So Lord Chaitanya is giving the mercy. And Prabhupada has brought it here to America. Why he came to America? Why he didn't go to the Middle East? He nearly went to England. But he thought, oh, America is the leader of the world. If it goes down in America, whole world will follow. So America is so important, Prabhupada. He played his lotus feet on America. First Boston, then New York, then Butler, then Riverside, New York, then Lower East Side and Matchless Gifts, and then nearly everywhere. Philadelphia, yeah? Came to Philadelphia?
He came, when he left Butler, Pennsylvania, on his way to New York, he stopped in Philadelphia to give a lecture at the University of Pennsylvania.
Wow. I have to hear that now. Yeah, Prabhupada put his feet in this. This is the Holy Land of Pennsylvania. When we were in Columbus, we did a pilgrimage to the university. What was it called? That filmmaker?
Ohio State.
Yeah, no. The university. But it was Hitchcock Hall. Hitchcock Hall. So, Hitchcock Hall. And so we did a little pilgrimage. We went to Hitchcock Hall, University of Pennsylvania. Is it Columbus? University of Columbus. Maybe Ohio.
Ohio State University.
Yeah, we walked right in. It was amazing. We were having kirtan. We went up the steps. The doors were open. There was no one inside. And we started looking around for Hitchcock Hall. Hitchcock Hall was open. We went inside. Hundreds of chairs and balconies, and empty stage. We walked on the stage. And then Prabhu Hari, he went to the place where they control the sound system. And he was on. And he played Prabhu's lecture in Hitchcock Hall in Columbus. We were all sitting there. And we were just like tuned in to the absolute world. Srila Prabhupada, messenger from the absolute world. And because by hearing, then we wake up. We wake up, because we're in Naisamati Stavada Rukramanga. We're in touch with a pure devotee who's in touch with Lord Chaitanya, is in touch with the spiritual world, Krishna. He believes in Krishna, he knows Krishna. I don't know Krishna. I can't see Krishna, but I can hear Prabhupada. We can hear the words of our spiritual master because they have full faith. Yoginam abhisavesham madgatarantaratmana shadavan vajadeyo sayuktatamamata. They have fully surrendered to Krishna. So they're not different from Krishna. This whole movement actually is transcendental. Nobody can understand it. When we go on the street in Harinam Ruchi, People are actually bewildered. They don't know what's going on. Who are these people? Shaved heads, robes, funny hats, funny clothes, singing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Of course, we get some idea from the Bible, Christmas Day. Because in all scriptures, Prabhupada said, I was hearing today, Prabhupada says, the Bible, we shouldn't criticize the Bible, we shouldn't criticize the Quran, because all Vedic scriptures, you know that? They're counted as Vedic scriptures, because they're talking about God and his representatives and their pastimes. So we shouldn't then go, there's a Muslim, there's a Christian. We should see positively. They're hearing something about Christ or God. It said Christ, Krishna, the name is the same. Same surname. So we shouldn't be sectarian. Krishna consciousness is not sectarian Hindu movement. It's not for Hindus. It's a science. Raja Vijay Rajagoyam. Raja Vijay Rajagoyam. Pavitram idam uttamam pratyak savagamam damyam susukam kartamavyam. It's the king of knowledge because it gives direct perception of the self by realization. It is everlasting and joyfully performed. Devotional service is not anything to do with this material world. And this movement has nothing to do with this material world. Golokera Premadana, Harinama Sankirtan. It's descending from the spiritual world. Actually, this room is not material. It's because it's fully engaged in Krishna's service. It's we think, oh, it's concrete, stone, and paint, carpet. No. This is absolute. Krishna consciousness is absolute. Anyavilasita sunyam jnana kama anavritam anukulyena krishnanam silanam bhakti. But when we become engaged in karma, then we forget that it's absolute. When we engage in mental speculation, jnana, we forget that we're on the absolute platform. That's why the best thing is to go on Harinam. To be always chanting, always engaged in devotional service, 100% of the time. That's why we have association of devotees in ISKCON. That's why we have ISKCON. It's a community, it's a congregation. And just like on Rath Yatra, Philadelphia Rath Yatra, we've been to Philadelphia Rath Yatra quite a few times. And why we take out Rath Yatra? So that everyone can have darshan of Lord Jagannath. Huge Lord Jagannath here. And they see Lord Jagannath, they see his chariot, they see the ropes, and they pull along, and then they have a big festival and the kirtan and prasan. It's all absolute. So we're trying to, change this world, the material world, to the absolute world by engage everyone in devotional service. This is Sankirtan movement. And you can see it happening. We go on the street, people are just sitting in the park, and some or other they tap their feet, and clap their hands, and they say, Hare Krishna, and they don't understand, but it's actually mercy. They're getting they're touching the sound vibration, which is absolute, coming from the spiritual world. And they're becoming absolutized. They're becoming spiritualized. Momentarily engaged in devotion. So they may forget, but Krishna never forgets. And then sometimes they stand up and they dance and sing, and a group of them dance and sing. We were in Baltimore day before Rath Yatra. There was like I don't know what it was like a conference of school children. Many of them were from Mohammedan culture, some of them were from this, and everyone was like 30 or 40, 50 of them dancing and singing, going crazy with the holy name. So it's in everyone's heart. Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti. Sajja Kabunai. Shravanade Sudhajitikari. Love of Krishna already in everyone's heart. It just have to be sparked off by somebody or something, like Prabhupada did to us. He sparked it off. Giving us a lot of prasadam, kirtan, association. This movement's so nice. This temple is so nice. Deities are so nice. It's absolute world that we're living in. So we have to be careful not to forget this and keep chanting Hare Krishna 16 rounds and reading Prabhupada's books, hearing from Prabhupada, taking prasadam. So this is the point. We don't mind if people are not befitting. Some guy that leave us alone, go away. But they're reacting to the holy name. It's not befitting, but it is fitting because it's in relationship to Krishna. Krishna is all good. Even people don't want to hear. Of course, if people don't want to hear, we leave them alone. Because they misunderstand. They don't want to hear all that. We move on. So we find someone receptive. And then we because everyone hears anyway. The advantage of the holy name is that it is almost absolute. No one can avoid it. The books, they can go where the holy name cannot penetrate. They can go all over the world, the books, and the people can read them. But the holy name is blanket. The insects hear, the trees hear, everybody hears. Even if they block their ears, when they block their ears, they must have heard. So it's devastating. It's like radioactivity, it goes everywhere. It's the ultimate infection. So thank you very much for letting me talk about this verse. And now we're beginning to understand a bit more, hope we're understanding a bit more about Krishna. He's absolute, absolute personality of Godhead. And hearing about him, what's that verse? Janma kama chemedivyam, evam yogati tattvata chakradayam puna janma, naiti mamati soji. One who knows about the transcendental appearances and activities of Krishna, he doesn't have to take birth in this material world, but he returns to Krishna's abode. So this is what our business of Hare Krishna. We're hearing about Krishna, his name, form, qualities, and partner, and we're going back home, back to Godhead, Srila Prabhupada Ki. So thank you very much. So next question, please. Any questions? Almost time for Punch Prasadam, that's my question. Huh?
A few minutes.
Okay. Excuse me for rambling on with my eyes closed. I know I close my eyes. I don't know why. Sometimes I open them. What to do? Yeah, question.
Yesterday when we were in Philadelphia, we were doing Harinam and we walked past one homeless man.
One homeless man?
Homeless man. He was like sleeping on the.
Yeah, I noticed him. Yeah.
He was completely out.
Yeah.
But as we walked past, it's like he just like did some kind of like to the beat, like he was like unconscious, but his body did like his leg and his hand, like he almost danced to the beat.
Yeah. I was thinking of trying to wake him.
Somehow I noticed it was like, like this. So my question is, is that the beginning of his spiritual journey, and how does that manifest for him?
No, he may have already been devotee in previous life. It could have, may not necessarily be the beginning. He got a human life. That devotee was, Prabhupada one time said, anyone who chants Hare Krishna, oh, yes, Hare Krishna, they get a human body. But said that. So he may have already been waiting for that reading. But even if he wasn't, you're right. He's hearing the holy name. Maybe in his dream. Maybe he's taking some drugs. You know, a lot of these homeless people, they beg. In London, they beg something. As soon as they get enough money, they get a script or they get something. They go out for another 24 hours. Yeah. But the holy name can penetrate. The holy name has risen like the shining sun. Jivara kalyana sadhana kam jagate asiye maduranam nam vina kichunaika ara choda bhuvana ma Jai Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes Jivara kalyana to bless to penetrate the darkness of ignorance and bless everyone's heart. The holy name has risen like the shining sun. Drink the pure nectar of the holy name. There's nothing but the name to be had in all the 14 worlds. The whole of this universe is actually a waste of time. In all the 14 worlds, except for the holy name. It's the only valuable thing. It's the holy name. So when we realize that the holy name is absolute, and everything can be used in relationship with the Sankirtan movement, that's just it. It's so important. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vicharanam Vijabhadam is the supreme welfare work for all humanity. So one time I was trying to tell my disciples, I don't know if you can do it here, but why not? There's many people out there in Philadelphia. You can do this Harinam yourself. You may say, oh, what will the neighbors think? What would they think if I do Harinam? They'll think I'm crazy. Anyway, we're crazy. We don't believe we wear this body. We must be nuts. Everyone thinks we wear this body. I'm American, but Hare Krishnas don't. So all you have to do is you get somebody. You can just clap your hands if you don't have kata. You go out on the street, okay? You go out the front door, playing cartels. Hare Krishna. And then you turn right. Hare Krishna. And you keep walking along the street. And then the next block, you turn right again. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. And then you turn right again. And you just go around your house. One time every day, chanting Hare Krishna. What's the loss? It's a free world. If you're not allowed to sing a song on the street, then it's not America. In America it means, freedom of religion. Okay, yeah, I want to sing Hare Krishna around my house. Is that wrong? Why should people think you're crazy? Everyone can do this. They go out the front door, turn right, turn right, turn right, turn right. You come back home again, and then take prasadam. It's simple, If all the ISKCON devotees did that, movement would spread like anything. The neighbors would say, who is this person? Why is he doing it? But they're all getting purified. And the dogs are going, woof, 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 woof. The dogs are getting purified. After a few days, a few weeks, the whole neighborhood. And then what you can do is, invite everyone to a Bhakti Yoga program in your own home, or a vegetarian cooking class, something at your own home. Do it at your own home, just where you are. It's possible, because the holy name is so powerful. So this is, it's a challenge to everyone. Why not do this? You may think, oh, I'm a CEO of Amazon or something. I'm Bill Gates or something. If I'm Fred Bloggs, anyone can do it. What's the loss? It's free. Holy name is free. The police can't arrest you. There's nothing wrong with the holy name. They can't do anything. You're chanting Hare Krishna. We're not like some countries. If we go on the street and chant Hare Krishna, we all could be in trouble. I won't mention those countries. But if you chant their names of God, there will be no problem. But some names of God are not acceptable in some countries. But even in Russia, the devotees are doing Harinam. They're allowed to do Harinam. They give the police prasada. Yeah, there's devotees in Russia. Although it was a communist country. To see the power of the holy name. Yeah. So America is the land of the free, Because the American dream, actually, the American dream should be, let's become absolute. No more birth and death. In America, Prabhupada wanted that. America should be the first country to become Krishna conscious, and spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. And it's done that, actually. Because of American devotees. I became a devotee in England. Malati, Shamasunda, and Mukunda and Janaki, Guru Das and Yamuna, they all came to London. And they met the Beatles. And I heard the Hare Krishna mantra. And I got the Hare Krishna mantra from someone who went to the temple in London. So this is chain reaction, is infectious. So all we have to do is just spread the holy names. It's very simple. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, kalona nasyeva, nasyeva, nasyeva. One more time, nasyeva, getiranyasa. Chant the holy name, chant the holy name, chant the holy name. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. For God realization, for making the world absolute, for getting out of this birth and death, which we're suffering from. It's a terrible condition, actually. We don't deserve it, actually, we do deserve it. This is our punishment. But if we take the holy name, we can get out. If we can be free from this prison house. Daivi Eshagunamai, Mama Maya Durachi, Mama Evaye Prapajante, Mayami Tamtran. This material world is impossible to escape from by material means. But but those who surrender can easily expand. So chanting Hare Krishna is surrendering. We begin with the tongue. Bhakti Yoga begins with the tongue. Atasi Krishna Navadi Navavagrim Sevanamukha Hi Jiva Ado. Beginning with the tongue. Smayameva Svarajita. Then Krishna reveals himself. Anyone who says Hare Krishna, Krishna reveals himself from within their heart, more and more and more. So this is the only solution. Wake up, it's a bad dream. Bad dream, wake up. Bad dream, wake up. Bad dream, wake up. Bad dream, wake up. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Divasati Gopakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama,
Namah Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Messiah Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swami
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
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 Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Sorry, I don't have my phone. I'm left it here. Keep it real.
Hare Krishna, I thank His Holiness Maha Vishnu Maharaj so very much for the very inspiring class and the inspiring kirtan.
We expect to see you on Hare Rama today.
They're going to be going out on Harinam Sankirtan today.
Around your houses.
And if you can't go with us, as Maharaj said, you can go outside your house, turn right, go to the end of the block, turn right again, and do that every day. So right now, they hope to go out at 4 o'clock, weather permitting. And if not, they may have to go out a little bit earlier, but Walnut Street and 18th Street, right now, Square is where they'll begin. So if you want to go out and join them, please come out and enjoy that transcendental experience of spreading the holy names. Also tonight, we want to encourage all the devotees to come to the Srila Prabhupada night. It starts at 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, where we read about Srila Prabhupada's transcendental activities and spreading the Hare Krishna movement. Also, we have a shloka class from 6:40 to 7 o'clock right before that, if you would like to join. Okay, everybody have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Hare Krishna. His Holiness Mahavishnu Maharaj ki
Jai. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for a nice class, Prabhu. Wonderful, very much.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nice kid. We enjoy.